Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So before we get into today's video of destroying more tractors, I need to read a Bible verse over you guys. And today it's coming out of John chapter 14 verses 1 through 6. And it says, "Your heart must not be troubled. Believe in God, believe also in me. In my Father's house are many dwelling places. If not, I would have told you. I am going away to prepare a place for you. If I go away and prepare a place for you, I will come back and receive you to myself, so that where I am you may be also. You know the way where I am going." "Lord," Thomas said, "we don't know where you are going. How can we know the way?" Jesus told him, "I am the way, the truth, and the life. No one comes to the Father except through me." So there's today's Bible verse for you guys. Hopefully they touch you just as well as they touch me. And I'm just going to keep on cranking them out. So if you don't like them or have a problem with them, you don't have to watch my videos, or you can just skip over them. That's up to you, but I'm going to keep cranking them out. So this morning, I packaged some more parts and went into town. Didn't want to go back to town today because I was just in town yesterday. But Napa didn't have this filter. So I had to go back to town today to grab that filter. That filter's for my telehandler, so I need to go grab my telehandler and get all the fluids drained, because it looks pretty milky. The hydraulic oil anyways, not the engine oil. Engine oil looks black and clean. But need to go grab it, bring it up here, get the filters and fluid changed, so I can use it, because with that milky oil I really ain't wanted to use it, just because I don't want to tear up anything. But I think I found where the water might be draining into it. There's a cover on the top. I'll just run out there and show you guys real quick. So here's my little Terex telehandler. It's a Telelift 2306, and seems to be a decent little machine. But I've pulled these covers off and whatnot because, as I stated in a previous video, I had some leaks and it was just loose lines, so I tightened them up. But that cover right there, if you can see it right there, leaks oil out of it. And I think that's where water is getting into it, because when it's running, you can see oil just spewing out. So I just need to take that cover off and reseal it and go from there. And then I should be hopefully pretty good. The hydraulic filter's underneath the machine, so got to crawl under there to get that off and put new on, and then figure out where to fill the drain, or fill the oil back up at, because I found the drain plugs, but I ain't found no fill. So I'm not sure if you take that cover off and just fill there, but I don't know. Guess I'll find out. But first off, I got to get this 666 front end off of the forks, because I think I sold it and the rest of this chassis here, so that's good. Get that crap out of here, because I really don't want to look at them parts, because they're just all big bulky parts that'll just sit around and not sell for a while. So if I can sell them the way they sit, then that's just a blessing. Because yeah, the front end is super nice shape, but the guy that I'm selling it all to normally buys a lot of chassis off of me, so I normally shoot him pretty good deals. So yeah, he's getting a pretty good deal. But other than that, I need to do that today. And then that John Deere 2305 I hauled in a couple of videos ago, I think I'm gonna get to tearing it down today, because I got guys interested in parts off that machine. So I need to tear it down as well. But first off, I think we're gonna get to work on this Terex here, so I'll set you guys down and get it up to the garage. there we go. Got it up here. Got most of the cylinders for the most part sucked in, just to push as much oil out as I can, to try to get it as flush as possible. I am going to have to change it a couple times here and there after I use it a little bit, because there is still going to be some water in the system. But as long as I get most of it out the first go around, then be good for a few weeks anyways, and go from there. But the only reason I haven't extended the boom in or out much is because, as you guys know, or as you guys have heard in a previous video, if you've been watching the channel, is that I just bought this machine and don't know the issues of it. I'm figuring them out here and there and whatnot. But the switch was bad for the extend in and out for the boom. So it was right here. It has 3 wires. So I cut it out, took it to town to try to get a switch, and no one could find one for me. So went ahead and ordered a couple online. So they're on the way, and I should be able to get that extend boom in and out working just by a switch. Right now I can cross the wires and get it to work, but that's definitely not as nice as just flipping a switch. So that's on the way. That's a project for a few days from now once I get it, but I better get to changing the oil and go from there. Definitely figured out where the water was coming in, and it's definitely coming out of this cover. That seal is like junk, and the cover wasn't even tightened down, which is right there. So I took it all off and found it all, got most of the oil drained out, and I cleaned that filter as best as I could. I'm gonna have to order that filter, and when I change the oil again, I'll replace that filter, because I didn't realize it was in there. But I'll get that filter coming. It's about $100 filter I found. So I'll get it coming, so I'm prepared for the next filter change, because in a couple weeks I'll just be changing it again. But for one of these mini telehandlers, you about need a dang truck pit or something to change the oil, because it's hard to get any buckets or anything under there. I had to cut up all these buckets here just to get them to fit. And then to get the oil filter off, I had to use screwdrivers. So better answer this phone call. I'll set you guys on a tripod and get it filled up. Now that's what you want your hydraulic oil to look like. Nice, clear, and brown. Not clear and white, yellowish looking. It's not on the sight glass yet, which is right there. But that's just because I'm leaning forward. So I think when I get it on level ground and get the boom all the way down, it'll be level. Because yeah, you're supposed to change the oil and check the oil with the booms and everything all down. And yeah, but that will definitely work a lot easier just dumping in there than dumping through that hole right there. So next time I'll have to remember that and probably just do it that way, because yeah, they need to change that filter anyways. So but yeah, I'm going to get all this surface dry and then put some gasket maker on there, because I ain't reusing that gasket, and gasket maker it all up so it don't leak. And then yeah, make sure there ain't no other leaks, and make sure the oil level's good. And then I'll get to using this thing and check her out, see how good it is. So I'm gonna button all this stuff up off camera, and then I will probably get started on this little John Deere 2305. So I think I got all 4 tires sold, I think. I ain't heard from them yet, but they're in pretty good shape. Just a little dry rot on the rears, but nothing too terribly bad. They still got some life left in them. So get this little thingy tore down so I can start making some money. So I'll pick you guys up when I get started on that thing. I said I'd pick you guys up when I got started on the John Deere 2305, but I've been working on the skid loader some more, and I've dumped about a tube of grease into the thing. I put grease all over the shaft here so the forks slide with ease now, because before they were hard. So got them sliding super easy. Greased all of the joints and whatnot. Greased this a little bit. Greased the drive shaft right there and a few other joints throughout. So yeah, it's getting a lot of love, and I ain't using a battery powered grease gun now. I'm using the old school stuff, so my arms feel pretty big right now. But I feel like them battery powered grease guns are honestly just a waste of money, because you honestly don't know really how much grease you're putting into it, because it just pumps it out like crazy with them battery powered things. It is a lot quicker with them, but I just feel like the world's getting lazy with all this new technology. But yeah, that's that. And another thing I wanted to mention here is this door. You guys seen that it came in without this upper glass piece here. It's got the brackets, but someone must have busted the glass so it ain't on there. And what I'm thinking about doing is just taking this door off, because then I can just hop in here and I ain't got to worry about the door getting hit by something or me tripping over it or stuff like that. So it'd make it a lot easier and a lot better, I think, without that door on there. So I think I'm going to take that off here before I get started on this tractor. And then you guys know that I've been working on my skid loader quite a bit too, and I just replaced that one line. And there's another freaking line leaking. That one right there. It's leaking at the fitting, like it didn't get crimped down tight enough. So that's honestly why I'm putting so much love and care into this telehandler, which it needed it anyways, and I was going to get to it anyways, but not this soon. But since that's leaking, I want to get this telehandler A1 tip-top shape, so then I can tear it back into that thing and get that line made and fixed up. And I'd love to get the cab put together in that thing, but if it just keeps leaking and I keep fixing crap, why put the cab all the way back together when I'm just going to keep tearing it back apart? So I don't know. I'm going to keep that machine just so I have a few loaders around, because you can never have too many loaders. So yeah, I'm going to set you guys back on the tripod, get this door off, and then I promise we'll get to this little John Deere tractor. Now that I got the old telehandler all tip-top shape, ready to go, door off there, makes it a lot easier. Time to work on the 2305. So always remember to drain the oil first before you take the tires off. I've learned my lesson a couple times when I first started doing this, and it's not fun trying to get oil out without tires on the tractor. So draining that oil, there was no motor oil in it, so I'm sure they blew it up. It only had 800 hours on it, so I'm sure they didn't take care of it and blew it up. But getting the oil drained now, and then I'll get a thumbnail picture and I will set you guys on the tripod and get it tore apart. if this ain't progress, then I don't know what is. About an hour and a half work, and I got this much done. A little bit of stuff here, and then yeah, the roll bar, lift arms, stuff like that, that platform piece, all that off of there, and yeah, the fuel tank as well, it's over there. It was full of diesel, so I ran it over to my tank and dumped it out real quick, but it really needs a good wash before I tear it down too far. I was hoping I'd get lucky and this would just come off easy, but I'm gonna have to drag this tractor back up to the garage and get it pulled off of there and go from there. So what I need to do now, before I go any farther, is I need to clean up all the bolts on the platform here and get this platform off. And then this piece will come off. And then I'll go ahead and drag it up onto the garage, get the steering wheel off, and yeah, give it a good wash. So I'll set you guys back on the tripod now until I go to take it up there. Turned the camera off and I got a lot more done. Pulled the radiator and that front support piece, the fan, the shroud, and then that heat shield that was right here. So it's starting to look like a bare tractor now. I also did go ahead and pull the lower brackets, roll bar brackets, and the drawbar and the PTO shield, and then the top link bracket. So it's withering away pretty quick. I did get the front drive shaft out finally for the front end, so that's probably going to be the top seller on this tractor, is that front drive shaft. I'm debating whether to just leave the rear end complete. I am going to pull like the hydraulic pump and stuff off of it, but I'm debating whether just to leave it complete, because I think it'd probably sell complete to someone who has a rear end out, and this one only has 800 hours on it. So probably just going to leave it complete. Might leave the motor complete, haven't decided yet. I'll have to look up some parts here this evening and see what prices are and whatnot and go from there. But yeah, what I need to do now, it's almost 5 o'clock. I am going to pull this up to the garage, or carry it up to the garage, and then that Case 1816C skid steer, I need to get pictures of it and get it put on auction time here before the sun goes down. So I'll probably drag this up there with my telehandler and then take the skid steer out with the backhoe and get pictures of it so I can list it on auction time. So I will get this drug up and go do that and get back to work. There we go. Got it all rinsed off, looking clean underneath that dash there. And I did get the steering wheel and the dash off, as you guys seen. Wasn't too hard, just had to use a special tool up there. I ain't gonna tell you guys my hints, but yeah, it comes off in like 2 seconds with the tool up at the garage. So yeah, now I need to just keep on tearing it down and go from there. But while I've been moving it around and that backhoe for that 1816C skid steer, I was playing around with some buttons while driving this telehandler around, and I didn't figure there was only one speed in this thing, and I was like, I couldn't figure out where to make it go faster at. And then I was playing around while I was driving, and this button right here is the go fast mode. And I tell you what, I clicked that thing in and I was scooting. So that was probably a bad idea to start clicking buttons to find that thing. Because I like to tear stuff up. So that was probably a bad idea there. but now I can boot, scoot, and boogie. Heck yes. So I guess I will put you guys back on the tripod and keep on tearing this thing down. Not a bad first day working on this 2305. Got a lot more done than I had expected I would. Got the front end all stripped down as far as I want to take it. I'm going to sell it just like that. I'm sure it's worth a lot of money. Then probably sell all 4 tires as a pair because the guy interested in them doesn't want them no more, so oh well. Steering cylinder's in good shape. And here's a bunch of other parts. I got the wiring harness all off in one go. And yeah, it's coming along super well. Here's the motor, tore it apart a little bit. But finish that tomorrow, and then I'll finish this tomorrow. This should take me like 30 minutes to strip down the rest of what I want to do, because I just need to pull the rear end out from the chassis, take the rear tires off, and just a few odds and ends here and there need to come off. And then yeah, strip the motor down and then lay all the parts in rows and get them listed on eBay. So I guess what I'm gonna do now is clean up. It's starting to sprinkle. It's about 7:15 now. I really hope it rains because we ain't got a good rain in a long time. We're so dry and it sucks. But it'd be nice if it rained. That wouldn't bother me at all. So I'm just cleaning up my tools here. Go inside, eat some dinner, and then I'll pick you guys up tomorrow. Alrighty, next day now, and I'm back out here with the John Deere 2305. So on today's agenda, get this thing finished up. So don't look too bad. Got about 4 bolts holding that rear end in there, and then I can get that off of there and probably list it just like that. Probably take that pump off right there, but other than that, I think I'm gonna leave it just like that and go from there. But last night I laid a bunch of parts out in rows, got them all pictured, wrote down, and dimensions done. So now all I gotta do is put tags on them and get them put up. So I got some tags put on, but there's still a lot more parts to write down on tags. So it's gonna have to be a later on in the day project or this evening project, because that takes a lot of time. But yeah, all them should be going on eBay here very soon. So if you've seen the 666 video, all of them parts should be on eBay by the time you see this video. And hopefully some of these John Deere 2305 parts. So I guess I will set you guys on the tripod and try to get this knocked out. And that's what's left of the 2305 John Deere little tractor. Didn't take too long to get the rear end out from under it, and I went ahead and pulled the hydraulic pump and the loader valve off of there. But other than that, I'm gonna leave it the way it sits. So if you guys are interested in this, I'm not sure what to ask for it. I ain't done no research on it. But I'm not gonna ship it because freight companies suck. And then that's all I'm gonna say. So if you want me to ship freight, then you can do all the paperwork and whatever. So if they charge extra, then it's on you and not me, because that's what they like to do. If you ain't exact on your measurements and your weights and all that bull crap. So that's that. I turned you guys off and went ahead and tore most of the motor down. The pistons and sleeves don't look too bad. Someone has definitely been in that motor because the bolts are loose, or some of the bolts are loose. So what I'm thinking is something probably went out in the bottom end on this motor, and they took it to Deere, and Deere took it all apart to see what was wrong with it, and then told the customer how much it was going to cost to fix it, and they didn't want to spend the money to fix it, so they just barely put some of it back together, and then it was at the auction yard. So that's what I'm thinking happened to it. But I got the injection pump and the top end all off of there. But yeah, everything seems to be coming apart pretty good. I am going to have to get a puller on the front pulley because I tried to pry bar and broke the pulley. So have to get a puller on that to get the rest of that off. But yeah, if you guys see any parts you're interested in, feel free to reach out to me. I am very slow on communication just because this is a one-man show. No one wants to work these days, so it's hard to get back to everyone, and the amount of phone calls and text messages and emails and everything else that I get, I can't get back to everyone. It's just crazy. But yeah, if I could find some good help, then I'm sure my communication would be a heck of a lot better, but no one wants to work, and that's really sad these days. But yeah, if you guys need any parts off of this 2305, most of the parts are in excellent shape, as you guys seen. Most of them should be listed on my eBay store. Please go there first if you are interested in parts, and just purchase them off my eBay store, as that is the best and quickest option to get you the parts you need. And if you need the 666 parts off of the 666 that I tore apart in the previous video, head on over to my eBay store and check them out there. I did leave the front axle incomplete, so it'll be on eBay, and the front drive shaft will be on eBay as well. So need any parts, link to my eBay store will be in the description below. Head on over there, see if you find what you need, and if it ain't on there and you see it in the videos, reach out to me. But if you don't see it on there and you don't see it in the videos, I ain't got it. So that's going to be a wrap for today's video, as that tractor is pretty much done. Just a little few things here and there, and I need to get all these parts picked up and put inside. So I guess I will catch y'all on the next one. Thanks for watching.